Right, episode 5. One born every minute. A male midwife reacts. Here we go. Let's see what we got.
My baby's father, he's Latvian. We met in December, had a party. Since then we just started seeing each other almost every day and just loved spending time together. And but then before Valentine's Day, we just had a big argument and just ended up quite ugly, and can't remember now what about, and it just broke up. And I think 2 weeks later I just found out I'm pregnant. Hello. Thank you.
Take a seat in there now. I'm just going to put you on the computer and everything.
Okay. I grew up in Latvia, in a small village.
Take a seat. I'm going to put you on the computer. What do you think? Maybe I'm just going to input your details into our computer system. Only a little thing. No, I'm nitpicking. But there you go.
I found out about real world only when I left home, 16 years old. When I got out of our house, actually away from parents, that's when I clicked that real world is a bit harsh.
Hi there, is it Alexandra? My name's Gemma, I'm one of the midwives. So then, what's been happening this morning?
So I had that feeling in my bed that like something's coming out of me and I cannot stop it. So I jumped out of bed and there it was, lots of
water.
Yeah.
And do you know what time that was roughly?
Well, first signs I've noticed was 5:42, and then...
It's very specific, 5:42?
Yes, I looked, because I thought maybe I'll have some pain and I will have to check time. And then, hour later, it just all went out. It was February when I found out I'm pregnant. I was so overwhelmed because, our counting months, I want him a Scorpion. Because I know that Scorpion is that star sign when people are determined I'm gonna do it and nothing gonna stop them and nothing gonna break them. They'll just go for it. It's my star sign.
And the plan is for a home birth, is that right? And have you come in because there was no one to come out to you, or did you just not mention that you were having a home birth?
I didn't mention, so they told me to.
No, that's fine. So I need to just do a bit of a check over and make sure everything's okay with you and baby. So if you can pop your shoes off and just have a lie down for me.
It's good to hear, isn't it? That they've got a home birth team. And it sounds as though this woman here could have rang the home birth team and been assessed at home. And I bet you at home, there wouldn't have been a routine cardiotocograph. I know I talk about it every time. But, without any other indications in a woman's history, any kind of baseline routine cardiotocograph tracing, we just probably shouldn't be doing it, really. But, a home birth team is pretty cool. When I qualified back in 91, I joined a caseload bearing team called Bumps all those years ago, and it was on the back of Changing Childbirth, a report that's very similar to Better Births in almost every way. And we had a home birth rate of nearly over 20%. We were disappointed, and one of the main reasons for that home birth rate was because women didn't make a choice about where they were going to be for the birth of their baby until the birthing process had started, and we offered home assessment and all of that kind of stuff. So, it's good. Home birth team, I like that.
We'll have a feel of your tummy and listen to baby's heartbeat.
Okay.
We'll check your blood pressure and temperature and things. And then if everything's all right, we'll let you go back home again. And we'll basically just wait for labour to sort of happen by itself, okay? It's a little boy you're having then?
Yes.
Have you got a name for him yet?
Rupert.
Rupert, very nice. Don't think I've had a Rupert in a long time.
Even before, from 20 years old, when I saw that movie, there was this Rupert Everett, and I just fell in love with this name, Rupert.
And is this first baby for you?
Yeah.
Yeah? All excited?
I am.
Yeah?
Totally. I didn't expect it come like so quick. He shocked me a bit.
They like to be unpredictable to babies.
He's going to be handsome, and his voice is going to be really deep. You know the voice you pick up on the phone and you're talking to a man, like call from, let's say, British Gas, and it's a really nice voice. You just want to listen, and it's just like, oh yeah, tell me more. Then he's going to have light hair, blue eyes, really pretty face. Oh yeah, he's going to be the cutest boy in the world.
Hopefully, we won't see you again. Hopefully you'll be having this baby at home.
Yay.
But if you do get to a point where you feel like you need somebody to come out to you, if you feel the pains...
I do like this midwife, you know. She, the presuppositions she's using in her language are excellent. You know, well, okay, anyway. And I take it back. There doesn't appear to have been any kind of routine CTG in this admissions experience. You tell me at your place where you work, student midwife, are baseline CTGs are non-negotiable for everyone that walks through the door? I bet they are.
Pains are getting really strong and close together. You just need to ring delivery seat, but just tell them that you are booked for a home birth, and they'll arrange for somebody to come out to you.
Nice one.
There you go. No problem at all. So it took a little while.
Bye-bye.
All right then, all the best.
Sometimes we have ladies that just have the one birthing partner. They just want their partner with them, their husband or the boyfriend. I had somebody once and we all thought it was her partner, but it was in fact a brother. A little bit unusual, to be fair. And I had another lady once who, again, had hold of her husband's hand really tightly the whole way through delivery. She arrived in really kind of advanced labour and grabbed hold of his hand the whole way through. And then afterwards, he kind of ran out of the room and it...
What do you think about the use of the word ladies? Maybe it's because I'm a man, I don't know. I've always shied away from the word ladies or lady. I tend to use the word woman. What about you?
And it turned out he was the taxi driver that had kind of brought her to the hospital. It was, and we were asking if he wanted to kind of see the baby coming and cut the cord. And it turned out he'd just driven her in. And
Come on, boy. My baby's father, he's Latvian. We met in December, had like a party. Since then, we just started seeing each other almost every day and just loved spending time together. And but then, before Valentine's Day, we just had a big argument and just ended up quite ugly, and can't remember now what about. And it just broke up, and I think 2 weeks later, I just found out I'm pregnant. He asked me about my plans, about my baby and stuff, but he didn't want to get involved. So, and that was about it. We just broke up forever. Hello, Delivery Suite, can I help you? Hello, I'm having a home birth. Could I have some midwife here, please?
What's your name, please?
Alexandra Frolova.
Oh, yeah, you did ring up before. Just bear with me. Sally?
Yeah?
I've got Alexandra on phone again, the home birth lady. So she wants the midwife out.
I have to bring her in to be assessed. Alexandra, how often are the pains coming now? Because I think Caroline explained to you that we're going to have to assess you in hospital because our midwives are still out with a home birth.
A resource issue, I'm guessing. Yeah? There's a resource issue. What a shame. You know, so this woman who's been planning a home birth, got the home birth team, she's in what she thinks is the, you know, the birthing process, labour, and now she's going to go into the hospital. Where is this going, eh? I can guess.
Birth, and I can't send any midwives out at the moment, unfortunately. So it would mean you need to come in to be assessed in hospital, and then we have to just decide from there. I'm just really sorry about that.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Have you got transport to come down?
I'll get a taxi.
Oh, have you got anybody with you?
No.
No, well, come down, and Caroline's just gone back round there. I'll ask her to assess you, and then we'll take it from there. Is that all right?
Yes, fine.
Okay, we'll see you when you get here then. Okay, bye. She's coming down in a taxi. I don't think there's anything different in her pains, but I think she had a bit of a show, so I said if she got assessed there.
My best friend, I asked her if she would like to be my birthing partner. She said, like, no, but my mummy, hopefully...
We're going to assume, aren't we, that that telephone conversation she had with the midwife went on for longer because, you know, there wasn't, in what we saw, any assessment at all of what the tightenings were like, all of that kind of stuff. But let's assume it all went on.
Hopefully she'll be there. She says she's going to make it. But you never know when baby wants to come and just surprise you.
What's your due date?
27th of October.
27. If I assess you and you're able to go back home, are you wanting to do
No,
that?
I think I'll just stay because they're fixing roads. So I'm not sure if something happens, if I'll manage to be on time. So if I could just stay here.
Right.
What kind of confidence would this woman have that if she went home, that there would be a midwife available to be with her when she needs them? She's already been dragged out in the middle of the night on her own to the hospital. I feel quite emotional about it. And yet, here we are. She's saying, would you like to go back home? I'm going to assess you now. All of that. Oh, God, it's annoying.
Right. Okay, that's
Is that
fine.
right?
Yeah, it's fine. As long as it's what you want. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I prepared everything for home birth, but I think I had my hospital bag anyway, just in case, so...
Yeah.
I think I'm prepared, just to have it anywhere.
All right.
I think you can never really describe how good and how nice it feels to deliver a baby, to be the first person to touch that baby and to bring it into this world. It's just one of the best feelings you could ever experience.
Do you know, when I was fully involved in the clinical areas, way back when I was a young midwife, we started a group called RAGE, which means Research Awareness Generates Enthusiasm. And every 2 weeks we'd meet in the pub, we'd review literature articles, and we'd set ourselves a little challenge. And one of those challenges was that every time we saw the word delivery on the board, we were going to write birth. Because if you think about language and the power that it has to shape meaning, as a midwife, I could talk about having a delivery. I have a delivery, but the idea of me having a birth is ridiculous. You see, just that shift of one word shifts the locus of control, where the power is from me as midwife, quite a passive presence in the room, seeking to be invisible, towards the woman, which is where the power belongs. You know, I always thought that the idea that we empower women is ridiculous. You know, it's like empowering a lion. You know, and just the routine use of the word delivery without any kind of check inside, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Hey, it looks like a real bird.
Hey, he looks like a Rupert.
He looks like you, Mummy.
There was a cry.
When I imagined becoming a grandma, this isn't what I expected. Lots of things go through your mind. She was all set up to go to...
What a shame. So this woman wants a home birth, comes into hospital because there's not enough resources to provide her with what she wants, feels like she has to stay in hospital, has the baby, and then, I don't know if you saw it, she had a venflon. Now, we don't know any of the backstory. We don't know any of it. But she's, you know, let's assume that there was no indication that the hospital were unhappy with her having a home birth. She comes into hospital, she gets assessed, chooses to stay in hospital because, bless her, she feels like she has no choice. She gives birth in the hospital and ends up with a venflon.
Go to university in Bradford. She's wanted to be a teacher since she was like 12. Obviously, that's not happening now.
Hi, I'm Naomi. I'm midwife looking after you. Follow me. Can I just take your notes? Right, so just come to the room and you can tell me the tale.
My biggest fear is losing the baby, because I've heard stories people can lose them like 2 days before they're due, things like that. Like, it's never all safe. Like, people die in childbirth, so anything could go wrong. I just don't want anything to go wrong.
All right, my love. I know. It can be a bit scary, isn't it? So are you mum?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that sister?
That's sister, yeah.
Okay. And you live with your mum?
Yeah.
Right. So you all got a shock then?
Yeah, I was in bed with her at the time because you were worried about coming in the morning.
Oh, right, okay. Because, yeah, that's it. You're due to be induced in the morning, aren't you?
Yeah, she's 2 weeks overdue tomorrow.
Yeah. So
I can't pass that up. You know, I used to say to women about the due date that we call it a due date, but that's not the truth. You know, the date itself is a date that's got 2 weeks either side when a woman could go into the birthing process and have the baby. It's not a due date. It's another problem with language. You see, we're all processing language at a deeply unconscious level. It's the way we learnt language, right? And in order to make sense of what we're hearing, we have to reference previous experience. So if I've got a parcel from someone that's due on a certain date, the day after it's overdue, right? Day before it's early. It's the function of language. In my opinion, we should drop the whole notion of due date completely. That's the first thing. Second thing is the idea that someone is overdue. They're not inverted commas overdue, probably not even at 2 weeks after. You know, that work done about the due date, I think was based on Mary Hannon's work. I'm not sure, but I think it was. So the research way back, must be mid-90s, I don't know, late 90s, suggests that when a woman gets to term plus 14, that the chances of caesarean section go up quite significantly. Now, there isn't much of an influence on perinatal mortality rate, although I'm not completely sure. I'd need to check that. But what clinicians inferred from that research was that the placenta becomes less efficient at keeping the baby perfused through the physical stresses of being born through the birth canal. So we end up in this situation where everyone is offered an induction of labour. Actually, it's assumed that they will be induced 2 weeks after the so-called due date. Whereas in France, I think it's a longer period. So the idea that these arbitrary invented ways of measuring childbirth, they're invented. They're not the truth. They're not, inverted commas, real. They're us doing our best to understand a process that defies understanding.
So this feels a bit uncomfortable. Okay, I'm just feeling for your baby's head, but because it's right near your bladder, it feels a bit uncomfortable. Okay. Do you know, are you having a boy or a girl?
No, I don't know.
It's a nice surprise. There's not so many surprises left in life, is there? So that's really nice. Deep breath in and breathe out for me. Because obviously you're concerned about bleeding, I'm going to pop you on the monitor for a while and just make sure that your baby's all right. It's a bit swollen down there, isn't it?
At least she hints at an indication for this CTG, blood loss. Something, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's a bit itchy.
It's got some fluid, yeah.
The other thing that I'm interested in, now I know they've edited lots of this stuff, so we can assume that this midwife, that one of the very first things that she says to this woman is to ask her about the baby's movements. Because, you know, these monitors and this sonicate is giving us some information about the baby's well-being in a snapshot, But the real monitor of the baby is the woman herself. The patterns of movement that she's been perceiving over time.
That make you feel better. That's all you were waiting for, isn't it? So, any guesses what it is since you don't know?
We think it's a boy.
Yeah, I would say probably.
Troublemaker.
Yeah.
It's definitely a girl. It's making a scene.
When you imagine you're going to find out you're going to be a grandma, I did hope that either one of my daughters, when they did have a baby, they'd be in a stable relationship, have their own home.
Yeah, that's what I'm about, just thought of it.
Just, you know, everyone tells you about being a grandparent, it's amazing because you get to give them back. But I'll be keeping mine.
Then the needle comes out and it just leaves a little tube in your vein, and I can just take a little blood sample at the same time. Is that all right?
Yep.
I'm just going to quickly have a look at your veins.
So why is she having a venflon here then? I guess the rationale would be, well, she's going to be induced tomorrow anyway, blah, 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 blah. But why? Is it only me where this seems unnecessary?
Mum, it's needles, you need to come in.
Me and the baby's dad, we're not together, but we have a good friendship, relationship, so he's going to be involved in the baby's life, but just not in these sort of stages, because we're not a couple. It only happened like the one time, so that was why it was more, I think, shocking, because you'd think it takes a lot to get pregnant, it's hard to get pregnant, and yeah, so it was just one mistake.
Are you all right, Chrissy?
No.
I remember, I've got 8 children and 13 grandchildren. I remember my youngest daughter, Abby, when she was quite little. She weren't that little, she was a teenager. She said to me, Dad, if I get pregnant by accident, you will support me, won't you? And I remember saying to her, if you get pregnant because you refuse to use barrier methods of contraception, of course I'll find you somewhere to live. The idea that you get pregnant by accident, I wonder if anybody, barring obviously sexual assault, whether anybody gets pregnant by accident, whether there's some kind of unconscious, I don't know. That's probably controversial.
Do we need to hold your hand?
I don't like needles.
You watch all this Grey's Anatomy and CSI.
Yeah, but they're not going into me.
That's not going into me.
I know, but I can see it close.
That's so weird.
You're weird.
We've always been really close, me and Nicole. We're a close family, especially since, Nicole's dad left. Our bond has got really stronger, and now Nicole's having the baby. We've just got tighter.
So have you taken any pain relief at home at all?
No, I don't take tablets, so...
What a pair you
We're
two
quite
are.
an affected bunch, aren't we?
They were together 25 years, and then one day I was just upstairs watching, I remember it perfectly, I was watching Glee, and then I just heard her say, have you got another woman or something? And he just went, yeah, and I was like, what? And Mum just came in to me crying, saying, your dad's leaving. I says, no, he's not. We had to push sofas together and sleep downstairs for 6 months. And I just did it. I didn't feel sad at the time, but since it's all, because I didn't have time to get sad about it because I just looked after my mum.
You're doing grand. Think positively. Yeah?
Just instinctively, she looked after me and dried my tears and made sure I kept doing everyday normal things. Where's that gas in there?
I've taken it away. It's put me in a good way for when I have my baby, because I've already looked after somebody, kept him alive really, because that's how it was. I think if she didn't have me, I don't think she'd have been able to carry on.
Having a boyfriend makes you fat as well. Because...
I love that.
It does.
To be fair, having a girlfriend, I put weight on, because you go to the gym.
I'll tell you what, I've had enough. We covered a few things there. I hope that's okay. That's enough for me this week. Thank you.